the Chicago Blues.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it's a good Week 9 matchup here on a Monday night between the Chicago Blues and the Brooklyn Bulls. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business. And now the first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out is their fifth-year quarterback.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. He'll drop to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack to about the 40-yard line. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
But I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker, that the defense almost relaxed and said, we got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the 4th down.
So they bring out their punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they are led out there by their mobile quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. And now some motion before the snap. And this will be our first penalty of the night's proceedings. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. They'll set up a throw. He's got a man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield. To the 40 before being taken down.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really neither.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take it. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Calling no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll look to throw. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
2nd and 3 from the 9. He'll look to throw. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. They'll look to throw again. Goes right back to Smith again. They'll wind up getting just a yard. And that'll bring up 4th down. Again, he'll drop to throw. This is caught. Touchdown. Herb Smith Jr. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bulls take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. They took a pretty big risk right there going for it on 4th down. But, hey, not only did they get the first down, forget about that, they got in the end zone. Yeah,
because normally you're just thinking, can I get enough yardage to get it past the sticks and pick up a first down? Instead, they go for the end zone and get it done with no margin for error. Remember, 4th down, they went for it.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, they sent the power set out there, and their job is to be man-on-man and move people so they can run the football. But that time, too many men didn't get moved in the box defensively. They end up throwing him for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Touchdown. A big play there. 64 yards. And the Blues are an extra point away from drawing level. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there is no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
Extra point right down the middle, and we are tied at 7. So that drive, 4 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one, because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 9 catches, 102 yards.
And in doing preparation for the game, you notice where guys rank in the league in terms of statistical categories. He's 4th in the league in receiving yards. That caught my attention in a positive way.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. These two teams all tied after one. They'll look to throw now on first down. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. He'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Smith. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. Second down, here's an option right. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. It's a 13-yard pickup as the downs reset. We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Looking to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Bulls have taken the lead.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the previous play. How about what they did to finish things off, turning it right back around?
That's the response, and that O-line feels a lot better now, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, because giving up the sack on the previous play, that just hurts those guys because they never want to see their guy get hit.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And we will not see a run back here from Harris. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they aren't a 1st or a 2nd seed come playoff time. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season, and that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm already at 500, what's to stop me from going for 1,000?
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now back to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
picked up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
They'll set up to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the second quarter. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And his throw's going to be incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. Under pressure, and down he goes.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Fourth down and no hesitation from Matt LaFleur as he sends out the field goal unit. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And this one is right through. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So they're content to take the 3. Somewhat of a conservative call there, opting not to go for it on 4th and inches.
And that's from a team that you and I know is not usually playing it close to the vest. It's a little bit of a surprise that they opted for the 3 instead of going for it.
And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. The Chicago offense set to get started. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive, 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
The offense on third down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A good gain of 12 yards that time.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on third down, and they keep the drive going.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it's second down. We remind you in just a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this first half of football so far. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Escaping the pressure right. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
This guy's proven himself to be one of the best in the NFL. He brings an added dimension to their offense with his ability to read defenses and know when he's able to pull it down and take off and go.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. This will be caught at about the 6. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. From the 6 now on 2nd and 3. They'll look to throw here. And it's caught. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run this one in, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. It's his 9th rushing touchdown on the year and 11th overall. And the Blues get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. But just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Taken in at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. 2nd and 1. Looking left side, he's got it complete.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Now before the second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. On second down, they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. From there, let's head west to see what's going on with the Raiders at home in Las Vegas. And they were winners in their ball game as they were able to handle the visiting New York Jets. Deshaun Watson leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? Find out. We give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. A big pickup of 38.
One of the good things about throwing it in his direction, he usually has the size advantage on those two-man catches.
And what I like about his game is that he carries himself at his full height. He understands it's an advantage and uses it at every opportunity.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively, but they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. Touchdown! A great effort there. With with his second touchdown of the night.
And the Blues have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half.
I know we often laugh and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His second touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. It's up and good to make it 21-17. That time a 6-play drive. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same in what they plan to do on offense.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
52 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And touchdown. A great play there. 55 yards.
And the Bulls have retaken a third-quarter lead.
Okay, the highlights are going to show the guy throwing it, the guy catching it, and ended up in the end zone. But how about those big guys up front that allowed that to happen? He had a ton of time to throw the ball.
He did. There's 2 sides to that coin, though. The O-line was great. D-line not very good.
And as well as coverage, because now you're really stuck in a bad spot. That much time to throw the ball, someone usually comes free.
Point after here coming up. And that one gives them a 3-point lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They had gotten the lead with the opening drive touchdown in the 3rd quarter. Now they relinquished that lead back. Could be in for an interesting second half.
It certainly appears that way, doesn't it? Almost turning into one of those pendulum games, right? Where it swings back and forth, and who's going to make the play that changes that maybe it puts it on one side and keeps it there.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. He'll take this to the 46. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Throwing left side, it's complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a first down.
And that last throw is going to keep him climbing that all-time passing yards leaderboard as he crosses the 25,000-yard mark now for his career.
He just recently passed Bart Starr. Next up for him, Bob Greasy. That's 2 Hall of Famers, 2 Super Bowl winners, multiple Super Bowl winners. So he's getting up with the legends now. Congratulations.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense. I think in the future, if you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. And he'll slide to a halt here. Still a little shy of the first down marker. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Here we go. Back. Flag. 95.
Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. And his kick is good. And that will tie us at 24 all.
So give him 3 on that drive. You know, normally you'd say we'll take it, but the way points have been flying around, it feels like a little bit of a letdown.
Yeah, you just have to wonder, are field goals going to be enough? Because as you pointed out, the way touchdowns have been scored, does kicking a field goal actually put you at a disadvantage the rest of the way?
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Harris now to return.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return.
And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Chicago offense set to get started.
Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground.
Yeah, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
I know they want to go for it here, and I know that their fans want them to go for it, but listen, I'm going to play head coach right here and look at the facts. Tie game, plus, even if you get the first, you still got a half a field to go. I'll go ahead and punt the football myself.
Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37.
Here's a give up the middle.
And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
That's a big gainer on that play, and from experience, I can tell you, that's where defensive backs will come into the huddle and say, guys, how about some pass rush? But you're going to say it nicely because those big guys up front, they don't like being criticized very much. Quarterbacks in this league, you know they'll pick you apart if you give them time like that to find receivers downfield.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
63 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. And he'll just get rid of it.
These two teams hooking up for the second time this year. They first met back in October, week 7. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So 3rd down, and a field goal from here would be right about 50 yards as they try to get closer. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great effort there.
With his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bulls have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th.
That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this 4th quarter. Plenty of time on the clock.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
Back to throw now on 1st down.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
When I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
Here's Brooklyn to once again go on offense. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And they'll be left with 2nd and a couple. the gun. They'll look to throw. And this one complete to Smith.
And he's going to get this down near the 25. From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Trailing in the fourth, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10.
That is caught at the 7-yard line. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds, right around the 7.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown of the night.
And the Bulls look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
Trying to bust out of that losing funk, and these fans have to like this. And all right, fellas, this is more like it.
And I know that if this holds up after the game, they're going to give the fans a lot of credit being at home, getting the support. But you and I both know it goes deeper than that. They had to get it together in their own facility, look each other in the eye and say, okay, what's it going to take to break this losing streak? And they really came together with a good week of practice.
The extra point up and good. And the lead now up to 14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Here comes Harris out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
On play action, they'll throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Flushed out right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. Here's a 2nd and 7. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. Here it's 3rd and 3. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
That was 4th and what we would call long in that situation, wasn't it? That wasn't 4th and inches, was it?
No, I mean, you get in those situations 4th and 3, 4th and 4. That's a lot to, what would you say, a lot of pizza left in that box.
It certainly is. Not everyone dove in on that one. In today's NFL, this is a passing down. All right, this is not a running down. That takes a lot of guts to call that play and even better execution.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's complete.
And he'll be marked out at about the 26-yard line.
An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Throwing middle, and it's complete.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
In a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. He'll buy some time, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
At that time, finally a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Now a throw here, hauled in. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
And he's got it. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Being chased out left. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago.
Taken in at the 3. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Unfortunate time for the penalty there. That cancels out a positive play from this offense.
Well, not to sound too trite or too accepting, but you and I both know it happens. You got to accept it and move on. Yardage, you got to get back. Focus on the next play. Move on.
Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
And a quick throw here that's complete. And a good tackle there right around the 30 stops him short of the first down. They bring their punter out there now as he's on here to punt it away. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. The situation for them offensively as follows. Down by 7, and time a huge factor. Their long win streak in great peril as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. Now they got to get to the line quickly. He's back to throw.
Oh, and that nearly ended it. That should have been intercepted, but he cannot corral it, and that is a lifeline there with 3rd down coming up.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. He'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. They'll look to throw. Dancing to his left.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Back to throw. And he's got his big tight end here.
And that could be a killer. He'll lose yardage and tackled inbounds.
And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw.
A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So for the home team here, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for our visitors, it's just their 2nd loss so far to go along with their 7 wins. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.